In a sun-drenched forest, a powerful bear and a clever fox found themselves parched and in dire need of water. They stumbled upon a river, but it was teeming with venomous snakes. Without a second thought, the bear roared and charged into the water, attempting to scatter the snakes. But his plan backfired. The snakes bit him and he retreated to the shore, still thirsty and now wounded. The fox, who had observed the bear's ordeal, took a different route. He found some stones and strategically placed them in the river, forming a makeshift pathway. Carefully navigating his way on the stones, he reached a safe spot in the river, drank to his heart's content, and returned unscathed. The fox understood that life wasn't just about cunning. It was about understanding and astuteness combined. And that's our cue for today's discussion. If you want to be seen as the astute fox in the eyes of the world, the Stoics have the wisdom you need to acquire that level of intelligence. So you see, just like our clever fox who combined understanding and astuteness to solve a problem, the first lesson Stoicism teaches us is the mastery of emotions. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about understanding them, managing them, and ultimately mastering them so that you can navigate life's challenges effectively. Imagine you're in a high-stakes negotiation for a job, or perhaps discussing an emotional topic with a loved one. Your pulse starts to quicken. You feel your emotions surging. This is the moment where the teachings of Stoicism become invaluable. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "We are not given complete control," signifying that while we can't control external circumstances, we can certainly control our internal responses. By mastering your emotions, you're not led astray by impulsive decisions, much like how the bear in our opening story let his impulses guide him, to his detriment. Instead, you'll find a constructive way through challenges, just like the fox, who carefully evaluated his environment and acted accordingly. Mastering your emotions doesn't just make you smarter, it makes you unshakable, like a fortress that can withstand any assault. Think about that the next time you find yourself in a heated or challenging situation. What would the astute fox do? Would it let emotions run wild? Or would it take a moment to understand, manage, and then act? Your choice in that moment is a reflection of your emotional intelligence, something that Stoicism can significantly enhance. Staying in the present moment is a notion that has garnered attention far beyond Stoic circles. Yet the Stoics were among the pioneers in emphasizing its importance. When we look back at our tale of the fox and the bear, we realize that the fox was entirely present in his actions. He wasn't haunted by past failures or paralyzed by future uncertainties. He assessed the situation at hand and acted accordingly. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it beautifully when he said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." The power of the present moment lies in your ability to choose your response right here, right now. Every moment you spend worrying about the future or lamenting the past is a moment you've surrendered from affecting your current circumstances. Imagine you're faced with a critical decision at work, or you're grappling with a complex problem that impacts your personal life. Your mind might instinctively wander into the future, exploring what-ifs and catastrophic outcomes. Or perhaps it might drift into the past, evaluating similar situations and what went wrong or right. While some reflection and foresight are beneficial, obsessing over them leaves you incapacitated in the now, the only time when you can actually influence the outcome. In this digital age, distractions are plentiful. Social media, endless notifications, and an overload of information can easily pull us away from the present. However, harnessing the power of now equips you with the mental clarity to prioritize tasks, make well-informed decisions, and ultimately lead a more fulfilling life. Being present enables you to engage fully in whatever you're doing, rather than merely skimming the surface. Acting in the present moment isn't just about reacting to external events. It's about creating your reality right now. If you're fully present during a conversation, your relationships deepen. If you're fully present, While working on a project, your creativity and efficiency skyrocket. In a world where multitasking is glorified, the true power lies in single tasking with full attention and intention. If we revisit our initial narrative of the fox and the bear, we find an essential characteristic that made the fox successful: adaptability. The fox observed the situation, evaluated the bear's unsuccessful strategy, and adapted his approach to solve the problem successfully. He didn't stubbornly stick to one method. He was flexible in his thinking. In our fast-paced, ever-changing world, having an adaptive mindset isn't just beneficial. It's vital for survival and success. Whether you're facing challenges in your personal life, navigating through career obstacles, or dealing with larger societal changes, adaptability enables you to thrive in any circumstance. Let's put this into context. Suppose you're in a job that's rapidly evolving due to technological advancements. While some might see these changes as threats to their job security, an adaptive mindset sees them as opportunities for growth and learning. You'll be more inclined to take the initiative to upskill, adapt to new tools, and perhaps even lead your team through the transitional phase, emerging stronger and smarter than before. But this isn't just about professional settings. In personal relationships, an adaptive mindset can be the difference between long-lasting connections and broken ties. Friendships and romantic relationships often undergo shifts, whether due to external factors like relocation or internal changes like evolving interests and beliefs. The ability to adapt ensures that your relationships can withstand these tests, morphing into deeper, more meaningful bonds over time. Adaptability also helps you cope better with stress and adversity. Life is unpredictable. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable. Your ability to adapt your strategies, expectations, and attitudes will determine not just how you overcome these challenges, but also how much you grow from them. So how does one cultivate an adaptive mindset? The answer lies in openness to change, continuous learning, and embracing uncertainty as a breeding ground for innovation. In fact, an adaptive mindset often thrives in situations that are uncertain because that's where creativity bursts forth. In the world we live in, wisdom is often mistaken for intelligence, as if knowing facts or excelling in analytical reasoning is the zenith of being wise. However, as our clever fox demonstrates, wisdom is far more than mere knowledge or cognitive skills. It's an integrated expression of our virtues that helps us navigate through the complexities of life. So, what is virtue in the Stoic sense? Virtue is a moral excellence that informs your character and guides your actions. But Stoicism offers a distinct angle. It argues that wisdom is the core virtue, the virtue that makes all other virtues possible. It's not just about knowing what's right, but also about doing what's right, underpinned by a thorough understanding of the world and your place in it. For example, imagine you're in a situation where someone is promoting false information, be it at work or within your social circle. While it might be easier to turn a blind eye or even contribute to the falsehood for personal gain, wisdom as a virtue would guide you to seek the truth and stand up for it no matter the personal cost. This isn't limited to grand actions or significant life choices. It applies to daily activities, interpersonal relationships, and even our internal dialogue. Are you choosing to hold a grudge or forgive? Are you giving in to immediate pleasures, or are you acting in accordance with your long-term goals? These daily decisions are the real test of your virtue as wisdom. Having virtue as wisdom also means understanding the impermanence of material gains, titles, or social statuses. Instead, it shifts the focus towards what really matters: your character, your choices, and your impact on the world. While material success can fade, the wisdom you accrue and the virtues you uphold have a lasting impact, rippling into the lives of those around you and even influencing future generations. One of the most compelling aspects of Stoicism is the discipline of assent, a philosophical concept that means agreeing or consenting to certain ideas or experiences that come our way. It's a skill that deals with our mental faculty, focusing on how we react to the information and experiences we encounter. If the fox in our story teaches us anything, it's that sometimes what makes us smart isn't just what we do, but also what we agree to believe and act upon. At the core of this discipline is the understanding that not all impressions or thoughts that come into our mind are worth accepting. How many times have you found yourself lost in a spiral of negative thoughts, only to realize that these thoughts weren't even based on reality? How often have you accepted someone's criticism without questioning its validity, thereby allowing it to shape your self-perception? Here's where the discipline of assent becomes a game changer. Practicing this discipline involves a two-step process. First, you have to become aware of the thought or impression that comes into your mind. Second, you evaluate it critically before accepting or rejecting it. It's almost like being a mental gatekeeper, scrutinizing what gets to be accepted into the citadel of your mind. Consider the realm of social media. It's incredibly easy to scroll through your feed and feel inadequate by comparing yourself to others who seem to be living perfect lives. In this moment, practicing the discipline of assent would involve questioning these impressions. Are these snapshots of reality, or are they carefully curated illusions? Should you allow these images to make you feel less about yourself? The discipline of assent allows you to say no, to reject the impressions that are false or damaging, and to accept only what aligns with truth and your own values. The benefits of mastering this discipline are profound. You'll find that you're not easily swayed by external opinions or situations. You'll notice that your emotional well-being is far more stable because you're not allowing every fleeting thought or external event to disturb your peace. Your decision-making will improve, and your self-trust will skyrocket. Being smart isn't just about knowing facts or being clever in the face of challenges. It's also about knowing what to let into your mind and what to keep out. The Pareto principle, often called the 80-20th rule, is a concept that suggests 80% of our outcomes come from 20% of our efforts. This principle can be applied in various realms of life: business, relationships, and even personal development. But have you ever thought of applying this principle through the lens of Stoicism? Let's consider our wise fox. He didn't expend energy needlessly confronting every snake in the river. He focused on the key action that would bring him the most significant benefit: creating a stone path to access water safely. This is the Pareto principle in action, focusing on what matters most to yield the maximum benefit. So how does this relate to Stoicism? Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of the rest. This aligns perfectly with the Pareto principle. In life, we often find ourselves juggling a multitude of tasks, responsibilities, and emotional states. It's easy to get overwhelmed, lost in the minutiae, and find ourselves drained with minimal to show for our exhaustion. This is where combining the Pareto principle with Stoic wisdom comes into play. Begin by identifying the essential aspects of your life that are within your control. These could be your daily habits, your reactions to external events, or the people you choose to associate with. Once identified, apply the 80-20 rule to these spheres. What are the 20% of actions that yield 80% of your happiness, productivity, or emotional well-being? Perhaps it's a specific morning routine, or maybe it's setting aside time to read and expand your knowledge. It could also be focusing on building meaningful relationships, rather than scattering your attention on pleasing everyone. By doing this, you are not just being efficient, you're being wisely efficient. Your efforts become laser-focused on what truly impacts your life, allowing you to make significant strides in your personal growth with seemingly less effort. The application of the Pareto principle in Stoicism also extends to how you handle challenges and opportunities. Not all problems require your full attention and energy. Some are better ignored. Similarly, not all opportunities are worth pursuing. Some are distractions in disguise. Having the wisdom to know where to invest your attention and energy is the hallmark of a life well lived. Oikeiosis is a term in Stoicism that may not be familiar to many, but is undeniably essential. The term itself is derived from the Greek word oikeiosis, which loosely translates to appropriation, or the process of making something one's own. In Stoicism, oikeiosis refers to the natural inclination towards self-preservation and, as one matures, extending concern and care to others. Think of our fox once more. Its instinct for survival is evident when it refuses to dive recklessly into the snake-infested river. But what if our fox had cubs to feed? Its clever strategy to safely access the water would serve not just its needs, but those of its family as well. This is oikeiosis in action, starting with self-preservation and gradually expanding the circle of concern to include others. In practical terms, understanding and applying the concept of oikeiosis can radically enhance your wisdom and social intelligence. Most of us operate from a place of self-interest. It's a survival instinct. But the journey to becoming smarter than the rest involves transcending mere self-interest to take into account the well-being of others around us. This doesn't mean neglecting your own needs or becoming a doormat for others to walk over. On the contrary, oikeiosis begins with a robust sense of self-preservation. You can't effectively care for others if you're not well yourself. Just as you would secure your oxygen mask first in an emergency situation on a plane before helping others, Stoicism suggests that taking care of oneself is the foundation for social ethics and responsibility. As you become more proficient in the art of oikeiosis, you'll find that your relationships improve, your understanding of social dynamics deepens, and your ability to navigate complex social situations with grace and intelligence becomes second nature. You'll also gain the ability to balance personal ambition with collective well-being, a skill set highly valued but rarely discussed. In an age where borders seem to be closing rather than opening, the Stoic principle of a cosmopolitan mindset is more critical than ever. The term cosmopolitan comes from the Greek kosmopolites, meaning citizen of the world. Stoicism teaches us to extend our care, concern, and moral obligation not just to our immediate circle, but to humanity as a whole. Let's return to our astute fox for a moment. Suppose the fox encounters animals from other regions far from its woodland home, all struggling to find water. A narrow-minded fox might hoard the discovered water source, claiming it only for its kind. But a fox with a cosmopolitan mindset recognizes the universal struggle for survival and seeks ways to share resources or knowledge. The fox understands that it shares the world and its challenges with all creatures, not just those from its neck of the woods. Practicing a cosmopolitan mindset has many real-world applications and benefits. For one, it allows you to interact with people from diverse backgrounds and cultures in a respectful and understanding manner. It provides a moral framework that respects individual differences while recognizing our common human essence. Most importantly, it equips you to approach global challenges with an inclusive perspective. In business, for example, a cosmopolitan mindset can be a key asset. It will help you to navigate cultural nuances and understand global market trends. In social settings, this mindset will enable you to appreciate the beauty in our world's diverse tapestry of human experience. However, a cosmopolitan mindset doesn't mean you abandon your roots or local community. Instead, it's about finding a balanced view that honors both the local and the global. Just as our clever fox might prioritize its cubs but still find ways to help other animals, you too can maintain your individual or cultural identity while also embracing a broader ethical responsibility. A cosmopolitan mindset extends beyond tolerance into a realm of active understanding and contribution. It fosters a spirit of global citizenship that is committed to ethical conduct, not just in our backyard, but on the world stage. And when we adopt such a perspective, we elevate not just ourselves, but contribute to a more harmonious, ethical, and sustainable world. The dichotomy of control is a powerful concept that distills the essence of Stoic wisdom. It simply states that some things are within our control and some things are not. And the key to a life well lived is focusing on the former and letting go of the latter. Imagine our perceptive fox at the edge of a dense forest, hearing a storm approaching. A less wise animal might fret about the storm, wasting energy on something utterly beyond its control. Our fox, however, understands the dichotomy of control. It can't stop the storm, but it can seek shelter, protect its young, and ensure it has enough food stored away. By focusing on what it can control, the fox not only survives, but thrives despite the external circumstances. This simple yet revolutionary principle has the power to transform your life. When you internalize this idea, you cease to be a victim of circumstance. Instead, you become the master of your own destiny, actively shaping your life through the choices you make. You can't control the economy, but you can control your spending and saving habits. You can't control other people's opinions about you, but you can control your own self-worth and actions. You can't control sudden obstacles that life throws your way, but you can control how you respond to them. By focusing your energy on what you can change, you conserve your emotional and mental resources for meaningful action. The dichotomy of control empowers you to be proactive rather than reactive, discerning rather than judgmental, and steadfast rather than fluctuating. It's like having a mental compass that keeps you oriented, no matter how turbulent the seas of life become. Applying this principle is a daily practice. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to ask, is this within my control? If it is, you know what to do. If it's not, you learn the art of acceptance, resilience, and moving on. My friends, we've navigated the intellectual terrains of Stoicism together, from the importance of knowing oneself to the pivotal concept of the dichotomy of control. Each lesson is a stepping stone, not just for intellectual stimulation, but for practical application in your day-to-day life. These Stoic principles can genuinely make you smarter, more adaptive, and more resilient than the rest. But remember, Stoicism isn't a spectator sport. It requires daily practice and mindfulness. So as you step forward into the world, take these lessons with you, apply them, and watch as you become the master of your own destiny. We're building a community of modern-day Stoics here, and your voice is invaluable. Please share your insights, questions, or experiences in the comments below. Let's grow wiser together. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button to stay updated on upcoming videos that aim to enrich your life. Thank you for being a part of this enlightening journey. Until our next exploration, may you be like the astute fox, wise, adaptive, and ever in control of what truly matters.